Right. What is the worst case of drug cheating you guys can think of in the history of combat sports?
I'll tell you what, Mayweather, AJ, Bud, Wilder, Usyk, Triple G have never failed a drugs test. I don't think these guys get enough credit. Tyson never failed a PED test, but he has stated that he did use some funny devices to prevent discovery of his recreational drugs. Just saying. Do you know what? I'll leave Riddler. You go and I'll come back. I'll come back here. Just want to drop some fun facts before we go in.
When we say the worst case is that banter rights according to the powers that be, according to the bias powers that be, I don't know, because there's a lot of discrepancies. I can't really say a worst case, but if we have to judge it to like in accordance of what, especially what you guys sure it's the worst case. I would probably have to say Gerald Miller, because he didn't really he didn't really, put up too much of a fight. So yeah, maybe Gerald.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why they call him the Riddler, because man went around in riddles and riddles and then fight. I'm surprised he actually answered the question. Maverick, what you say to me?
I'm still laughing from that. Now listen, I hear all that, and let's just before I say mine, I mean, you've got to think of some of the names who have been accused before: Canelo, Shannon Briggs, Tyson Fury, like you said, Gerald Miller, even the great Evander, the real deal Holyfield, James Toney. Yeah. I mean, Louis King Kong Ortiz. These are all people whose names have been sort of linked to some sort of drug accusation. Canelo Whitaker, the greatest defensive boxer of all time, in my opinion. But I'm going to put one that people probably don't think of when you think of someone that comes to mind straight away. It was an ex-world heavyweight champion, and that's Tommy the Duke Morrison. And anyone who doesn't know him, Rocky V, Tommy Gunn. And the reason why I'm going to say that is, I mean, one, he was a world champ, and if you look at his physique, it changed massively as he got older. But two, for me, it affected him even after his career, right? And he died from a heart attack, which is linked to all the drugs he'd been taking, both recreational and also of the enhancing side. So for me, it has to be him as the worst drug cheat, because it cost him his life eventually.
Yeah, that's a fact. Do you know what? It's funny again, because Riddle went round in circles, but I actually do agree with him in terms of Jamal Miller. Do you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, when we think of like, and to answer your question, Riddler, when, you know, what's the worst case ever? For me, like, you might think, is it the most drugs in the system? Is it the biggest incident? Is it the biggest letdown? And I think for me, Gerald Miller ticks both of those boxes, because he got found with 3 drugs in his system on the first occasion, right? With AJ. And, you know, look at what he squandered, that massive opportunity to, you know, be a unified champion. And, you know, the press, you know, the press run was massive. You know, he's there dissing AJ's mum, he's pushing him. You know, AJ's about to come out at Madison Square Garden. And after all of that, you flipping took drugs and the whole thing just went to piss. Like, you know, it's just like, come on, bro. You know, the guy had an open vein ped party to prepare for the fight. Like, it was ridiculous.
And not to mention, he came back again, and that was supposed to be his redemption song. And what happened? When you've got something like that, which is clear cut, I can understand. However, you've got like the Dillian Whites, you've got the Canelos, the Tyson Fury. Sorry?
What do you mean? What do you mean not clear cut?
What do you mean?
Canelo, like, what do you mean? He failed 2 drug tests 2 days after each other.
What I mean by that is that when you got a fighter who's claiming that, listen, you know, whether I'm eating meat and this is happening, whether I'm taking a protein shake and this is happening, you know, look what happened in Russia with the Russian girl. Did you pay attention to that story?
Nah.
I think she was 11 or 12. Like, as young as that, she got banned because of. You heard about that, Maverick?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, and that's just because of diet. That's not what you're gonna say. She's on Angelo. Things.
Boy, who knows? So, who knows, bro?
when you got other fighters that's claiming, listen, I've never touched a drug in my life, it's the circumstantial. I understand this though. If you're paying a man to do a job, he better do his job thoroughly because it will cost a fighter's career.